Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to our 7th Sea Dead Men Tales campaign. I am the Ravnos Archon. My name is Will, and I'll be your storyteller this evening. We have decided to take to jump the story a month forward, and in that time, Freki has learned to speak Eisen. He has learned a veritable list of stories from Berthold about the Valder, as well as a handful of tales from the other two great forests, the Lieblich Wald and the Anegen Wald. And I'm sure I'm mispronouncing both of those. But he has also gotten closer to Balto, even though Balto is still very eager to please May whenever he hears her commands. May, by contrast, has entrusted Berthold with a specific tarot card that we will get into once we take off running, and has sent out letters to those that were associated with her husband. She has also found a handful of hidden compartments that were built into the house that appear to have been small storage spaces for weapons and such. And she has also found that among the family records, there's a 10-year period where it is a blank. The house was given as a gift to somebody, and after the 10 years were over, the house was given back as a gift. Both times, the receiver and then the giver were unnamed. But we're going to be picking up with our associates, who we haven't seen in a while. It's good to see your faces. We're going to be picking up at the blacksmith shop with Wilhelm.
Nice.
Wilhelm Hugo Brindle is the current blacksmith after the blacksmith that took your shattered remains to reforge them was called back to the capital for reasons that were not disclosed. But Wilhelm is one of his best apprentices and has managed to fashion a similar shield. It still has that round, kind of frisbee-like feel to it. But instead of blunted edges, they actually taper off, so they're a little bit more blade-like. They're not sharp, but they are, instead of being flat, like I said, like they come to a rounded point, which he tells you is for aerodynamics, because one of the notes he had was this needed to be thrown.
Yes.
And one of the other things is that he has also managed to keep the central part of the shield that you had before, and just kind of placed it on top like a bra, on the nipple that was there in the center of the shield. So you've got your mother's rune still moving forward with this new shield.
So, yeah. So I know the ruin, but the ruin is, for all intents and purposes, broken. Correct?
Yeah, it's been scratched. So its power is gone.
How heavy is it? Heavy?
Not heavier than it was. The wood that he used is not as sturdy. It's not as thick. But it does sound like it's light but strong.
All right. So I lift it up. I put it on.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it with my, it has the same strap. Is the same strap, same setup, or is it?
He's giving you an X of straps, so you can use it how you were using it before, or you can use it even higher up on your arm. It's got like an extra longer strap, so it hangs off of your shoulder and kind of protects the upper arm.
Okay.
But you've got the two straps where it'll go up to your elbow and then right around the middle of your hand.
So, I fashion it turn. I start doing range of motion, and then I'll start flicking, like I'm going to toss it.
He
And
ducks every
just like,
time.
because he's like, oh shit, oh
Yeah.
shit, oh shit. He goes, mighty craftsmanship you got here, and I love this. It's amazing. I have to compliment. I have to compliment the blacksmith. Where I know you're here, but
Yeah, I finished the job, but he is the one that started the framework of the shield itself.
is he around, or he had to leave? Is that right?
Unfortunately, yes, he has gone to the capital. As they have asked him for his expertise.
Oh, expertise in what? As I'm just flinging this over again.
If I had to wager a guess, I would have to say that it is his expertise with Eisen.
Oh, that's right. I'm, being around here now. I've been here for a little bit. I've been able to get my bearings of Eisen. In fact, and I start speaking in Eisen to him now, just so that I don't know how. Well, it's been a month. You said, right? We fast forwarded a month.
Yeah.
So it's conversational Eisen. It's not. I can order food in Eisen.
Yeah.
I can, where is donde está la biblioteca?
Yeah. Queso está viejo y podrido.
Yeah. So, just saying, I take it that you use a lot of Dragon Eisen, especially because of the forest and what lurks around in this area.
In Eisen, now that he sees that you understand, he becomes much more comfortable. And he's like, no, not really. We tend to send off any veins that we find to the capital. They're the ones that really dole out where the Dragon Eisen goes.
I see. But I imagine they're doing that for the safety of Eisen.
Yeah, of course.
At least I say under my breath. At least that's what they say they do. All right. So, how long ago did he leave?
Oh, I would say at least a fortnight ago.
Is this common for him to have to leave?
It hasn't happened in over a year, but they usually will summon their best.
Just wondering, the last time he was called over there, do you know the reason for that?
They wanted a new type of spearhead, and they brought in different smiths to present their work. It's like a competition more than anything currently. It's bragging rights, from what I understand.
Oh, so I take it then. I guess this would be the same thing. I guess he was working on something here to take to the capital. Then I imagine.
Yeah, the spear he took with him.
During the time that I was there, I would considering that they are handling very sentimental pieces for me. I wouldn't want to stray too far, especially if I'm staying in town. So I would be coming in on occasion to see how they're doing. Would I know the type of spear or like the look of it, or?
It looked like a unfurled bat. Like it had the spear tip, but then it had flared out, kind of curved wings, and then the jagged edges and points that looked like it was intended to pierce and then tear on the way out.
Kind of like an arrowhead, or are you talking about like when you're like going through, or is it just two stabbing as you bring it back?
It looked
as your recoil?
It looked more like the Rambo survival knife.
Okay.
Like that. It was. They looked more like serrated, and the wings weren't flat. They would angle like consummate V's.
Right. So to deal as much damage as possible.
Yeah. So it created flutes as well, so to let air in and out. It looked like a dangerous weapon.
And so all of this work that you guys do, especially for the owner when he's gone out there, this is something that he never uses, or he's used himself to test this out.
Oh no, we are not allowed to use the Draken Eisen.
Oh, it's just us right now. I mean, I would imagine in just like, which by the way, I hope you have an open field in the back. I'm just going to try out my new shield, but I would imagine you needed to use this, at least test it out to make sure that the quality is there.
No, we have rice bags that we use, but we are not allowed to turn our creations on anything that's living.
All right. I mean, I can understand how that can become a little messy. When do you expect the owner to be back then?
Oh, not for at least another month or two.
I wouldn't have been able to, during that month that I was there, seeing any parchment, any paper, any reporting, any letters that would have come from the capital regarding his visit over there, because I don't want to start prying into this guy.
No.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna head out to the back, and so I imagine he has a rice bag, or he has a pole or something there. So I'm gonna actually just test it out to see how well I can, as I do the motion, I can have it released so it can actually be thrown.
Yeah. The straps have a kind of snap, like a thick industrial kind of snap,
like rivets,
like a rivet. Yeah. So they are very easy to kind of come undone with the right amount of pressure.
All right. Well, I just want to test it out, so just to see. Well, I know for a fact that there was no way I was going to be able to get it, so it can. I'm not Captain America, so I'm not going to try to see about having it returned to me. No. But I just want to be able to see how it feels when it actually hits a target.
It flies. You have to get used to the new mechanic of the straps. So your first couple of throws are not hitting the mark. But after some trial and error, you start to notice how and when to let go.
Well, yeah, this works for me.
Yeah. As you make your way back to the house, we'll come in on May and Berthold in his bookshop. And he has a collection of open books. Some are Vodace, some are Eisen, some are, like, one is Vesten, and all of them are talking about the Vodace art of the tarot, reading tarot cards in general, and he kind of shows you he has a special envelope for the tarot card that you've given him. And you notice that there's little superstitious runes that he has written on the corners of the envelope on both sides. But he puts the tarot card depicting the tower on top of it in the center of the books. I have found nothing useful. I'm sorry. See, everything is generic. Say references to the greater arcana or the minor arcana. That is. I am not built for this, unfortunately.
What do you mean you're not built for this?
This is esoteric. This is supernatural. This was your husband's realm.
How did he find out all this? How did he learn? You're the one I would go to for this.
I am honored by this, but I would have to go to the capital to find some new books specifically for this. This is not Eisen reading material, unfortunately.
You don't want to write to the order about this?
I have sent letters. I have sent missives to the associates that your husband was connected to. I have not heard anything back. We can go and speak to Alma or Werner and see if anything has arrived at the post office. But as far as my resources are concerned, I have tapped everything out. I don't have anything helpful here, Adelaide.
You're always helpful. It's just in ways we sometimes don't see or understand at the moment.
I will take your word for it.
You've told me more about my husband than I knew. True?
Unfortunately, you are correct.
Unfortunate or not, it is what it is. I cannot turn around and grieve anymore. This is time for knowledge and trying to find out what's going on. Not only save the house, but make sure that Freki is okay, and make sure. Where is Balto? Did he just? I think he went with Freki. I gotta keep these people safe, and whatever this tarot card is, I'm sure is a message. We've got to find out what the message means. I wasn't in tarot. It's not my expertise either.
Mm-hmm.
All I know, she saw that the ferryman was behind me all the time.
That may be a start, but there's no... The minor references to the ferryman among being the greater arcana, but everything here is minor, rudimentary at the best.
Yeah, I mean, if it's rudimentary, cannot say words. If it's rudimentary, we got to learn how to do it. You can't walk. You can't run until you learn how to walk. You can't walk until you learn how to crawl. So if it's rudimentary, it's something we got to learn. I may be taking you on this path only just because I need somebody to help me with this. Do what?
I will try, but I do
You are
not
the
have
smartest
cards.
man I know.
You need to know more people than Adelaide.
I was born and raised here. How many people do I need to know?
He pulls out a sheet of paper and he starts to scribe a letter. I will send the word then to an associate that I have in Vodace, and I will see if he can send me a deck that I may start to see what these cards are about.
See, you are the smartest man I know. Plus, I believe in you.
We'll see
Yeah,
how
there are
that
some
turns
faith in
out.
people. You know, one day I'm going to make you an optimistic. It's going to kill me, but at the same time, you're going to become optimistic.
You can keep trying.
Well, that's the only way I can do this, yeah?
He starts to close the books, and he very carefully puts the card back in the envelope. You see him start to melt some wax.
What do you know of Oma Verga? Or Oma Verga? She was the one who talked to Freki and hurt him. Warned
Only
me, wolf grandmother.
what the stories have said. That she is older than the forest, if you can believe that. That she is sisters with the mother of the Usurans. It all depends on what you would like to believe.
It's not the matter of believing, it's more the fact, more the thing of what do these stories say? Because we all know the stories have truth in them one way or another. You know, I fought things that should not be, and here we are.
I will start to pull the collections that I have available then.
If what can I do for you? Is there anything that I can do to help you with maybe getting things or paying in herbal work or something?
Things
I won't
have
do magic. I will do only the herbs.
no, things have quieted down since the militia sergeant has gone off with the blacksmith. The sergeant in charge now, Gertrude, is much kinder.
They haven't come to hurt you again, have they?
No.
Okay. If they do or something happens, you come to me.
No, Gertrude and I have an understanding.
Well, what kind of understanding?
I taught her how to read, so I would hope that she has more respect than the other sergeant.
He's a Dummkopf, we all know it. Call him a Schweinhound if I could. I think I just did. Okay, well, if you need something, you let me know.
I am fine. Let me go send this off. And he seals the envelope that has a tarot card, and he seals the envelope that he just wrote to his Vodace associate, and he puts his little stamp on both of them. Come, I will walk you out. And I will close up while I'm gone.
She walks out with him and then heads over to the blacksmith's while he goes to the mail.
You see Freki coming your way from the blacksmith as you are blocking up.
In Eisen, I yell, May, good to see you.
Oh my god.
You know, his accent is terrible.
Well, what do you expect from a Vesten?
Look, I'm just like, I start swinging it around.
Good. Look at him, like a child.
I mean, yeah, but he is a child with a shield that knows how to fight.
Yeah, and he holds up his hand. Good to see you. Excuse me, I must go to the post office. Walks
Take care.
by.
Well, does it work?
I mean, it's gonna take some getting used to, but I mean, it'll serve its purpose, and I think that, I think it'll do just fine. And how How's your day been going so far?
A lot of dead ends.
Yeah. Uh, the only thing that I know so far is the blacksmith is gone to the capital. They've been asked for him to deliver the Draconison he's been working on. Um,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, how often do they need to have Draconison sent to the capital? In your experience?
You think about how many towns are around Eisen, and it's just a roundabout of who has the most at the time. And the metal is not exactly the most easiest to forge, but once you forge it, it will stay.
Mm.
And you look at it from how it works. I mean, you're pleased with how it is, yeah?
Oh, yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I wish, as far as for my shield, I wish that it would just return back to me. But that is magic beyond, I think, anybody's means at this point.
Beyond our means, if we go to Vesten, I'm sure that we can find either my aunt or somebody else that could try and do that again.
Yeah.
But at the same point, I mean, right now, you probably have the best metal that you could get anywhere. You have a very high-priced possession.
His shield, just to clarify, does not have any Draconison in it.
Oh, okay,
I wish it did.
Mhm.
I wish it
Yeah.
did.
It might have some of the rivets that attached the mother's original rune to the center of it. That might be Draconison, but the metal itself is not anything fancy.
Yeah.
But depending on where they're also fighting too. I mean, we're always in a war. Have you not noticed that this place has never turned green?
Oh no, I've drew what's it? Moody is a very. If Moody was a color, I would say that is Eisen. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it has its charm. I mean, the people here are actually once you start learning Eisen and they can't talk behind your back, it's much easier to talk to people here.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
They have to force themselves to actually. Well, once you get to know us and we feel like we can, what's the word, joke around and play around, we become a bit more friendly.
I mean, I've done a lot of reading, a lot more reading than I normally do. So,
It's good. Yeah.
and the one thing that I just couldn't understand is the woman. That I remember the face and I remember the voice, but yet it's almost like she's a shadow because there's nothing here talking about this wolf mother. And
Grandmother divorced.
yeah,
Yeah.
Omar Varj, I think is that how you pronounce it?
Close. Varj.
Omar Varj.
But that's how I say it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure there is a God above me that says something different, but it's fine.
I keep thinking to myself that if nobody has any information on this person or being or whatever,
She's a myth.
yeah, that was flesh and bone in front of me.
Yeah.
So
When the wars with the religions came in about, of course, we had to conform because people in face and things like that. Many of the myths fell away, and many of the information was gone. From what I know about Amaver, she is the oldest of the forest, and she's a sister to the Yorwe. So it's More going now on folklore, myths, and legends, and you believe what you want to believe.
Well, before spending this extended amount of time here in Eisen, I wouldn't have fathomed the kinds of creatures that come from this forest. But, you know, I would say that that was also looked at as myth, or at least mythological in sense that you wouldn't think these kind of monsters or animals would still exist. So the fact that they still do, the fact that this wolf, this grandmother of wolves, is still, I believe, is around. Um, I don't know. I just keep thinking that the only way to find out information about her is to either lure her back to us, or my favorite part, trying to look for her in the forest.
As much as I would love to encourage your enthusiasm and your wish to explore, you still cheated to your shield, yeah?
Yes. But I have looked that up.
That's all the
I,
magic.
yeah, I was a little too friendly then, and I allowed certain things to happen in front of me that now, what's the word I just learned? Retrospect.
Ah,
In
yeah,
in
hindsight.
Yeah. Upon looking at it further, I realized that I should not be as open as I have been, and if nothing else, Eisen and its cold, uh I don't want to say cold, but yeah, cold demeanor has taught me is that you should not be so open with everybody that you meet.
You keep things close to your chest. Why do you call me May? And Bulldog calls me Adelaide. Have you ever figured that out?
You know, I met you as May,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I never wanted to pry on this. I would also say that Freki is not really uh, my first name.
See? Ah. We
But
used. Yeah,
yeah,
go on. Go.
no. The reason why I use Freki is because that is what people know me as now. So it kind of stuck. Um, yeah, I. But I imagine you have other means and other reasons why you use different names in different situations.
You travel. You have a travel name. May is my travel name. That way, as I go throughout the world, they know me as May, but they will not know me as Adelaide. The reason why you know that name is because I have come home here. And that's where they know me as, and that's what they call me. You will not know my first name, but Adelaide's my second name. The first name was done above her family, and you would only say that and close doors quietly so that the world never heard it. For protection.
As you
Oh,
are approaching the house, you hear a couple of horses trotting up behind you.
I hate it when they do this.
I turn around and I immediately have the shield ready. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, there's a cart
May.
coming up the road.
Hmm.
A wagon. Yeah. It looks like a fancy traveling cart.
Mhm.
It's one of those that looks like it'll seat two very comfortably, four if they squeezed in. But they're coming up the road. Dark wood, painted a kind of tinted in a cherry oak. The horses are beautiful monocolored brown horses with just these majestic manes. And there is what looks to be the driver, wearing tailored uniform.
Any kind of insignia, marking, crest on the actual carriage itself or on the driver that we could possibly see?
Not from the distance. Once it pulls up, you'll see that there is an emblem on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know the emblem?
You do, actually. Freki has never seen it before. But I think May has seen it once or twice. It is, where is its name? You would think I would have it much more at hand than where he is.
It's okay.
We're doing this live. Of course things happen like this. It's all good.
Do it live!
Yeah. As soon as I see anything bold. No, that's not it.
Well, they are being bold.
Yeah.
So that is correct.
Well, no, the face that pops out of the passenger window is rather bold, but it is Agustín de los Ríos de Cristobal, the servant of the lady Cristina de la Bahia.
This is the peacock, I'm assuming.
This is the peacock, yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Just quietly smiled, putting her hands together, thusly, and letting the cart move past, if possible.
The insignia is for the Vanthrop family.
Which her husband apparently is a part of, that she didn't know.
But he waves, bangs on the door. The driver stops and he gets out. My friends, it is good to see you.
Senor, it's been a while. How are you doing?
Yeah. I have brought some lunch if you have not eaten.
Lunch?
I have not. Yeah. That is very kind of you.
You see him pull out a couple of picnic baskets. Bread, turkey, and some cheeses from Castile. They are fantastic.
Castile? I see you've gone back, yeah?
Yeah.
How was your trip back home? Did you miss it?
It was exhilarating to be somewhere where the sun actually shone. And it let me bring some Castilian wine. You see him pull 2 bottles of that as well.
Oh my. So where are you going now? You couldn't have just come up surprising us with lunch.
Of course. It's been some time. I got back into town yesterday and I felt like I should reconnect with everyone that I know. My lady is disposed of today, so I have free reign of the city.
Free reign? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that is impressive. And how are you finding the general feel of the day?
It is balmy and muggy at best, but once we get inside and start drinking some of this wine, we will feel much better, I think.
That sounds like a great idea. And I go ahead and I grab the 2 bottles of the wine that he has there. I'm like, all right.
Yep.
May unlocks the door and lets everyone in.
Yeah. And he brings in the picnic baskets. And he starts to just unload these 3 loaves of bread, these big chunks of turkey meat that look like they've been cooked in different varieties. a small clay jar that has mustard written on it, and a couple of little accoutrements to add to sandwiches, like olives or pickles, things like that, in different name jars that he brings out, kind of lays on the table as well. Pulls out a knife and stabs it into one of the loaves of bread. Please make yourselves whatever sandwich you would like.
I go ahead and I actually cut one of the ends of the loaf, right? And I grab one of the bottles of wine, and I go to find Balto real quick.
He's out back. You see him just on his back, just kind of rubbing back and forth.
Go ahead and I whistle out, and in Eisen, I say, "Come here, boy."
He comes,
Sit.
sits,
Patica, give me your paw.
he raises it.
All right. Open your mouth.
Ah.
Fah! throw the loaf. Yes. I see you're not as dirty as I saw you this morning, so that's a good start.
He rushes back and starts to throw himself on his back and just starts.
All right, you stay out there. He has a bowl outside, so I'm just gonna pour a little bit of the wine
Okay.
into the bowl.
Yep.
I need you to be out here for a while. We're entertaining guests, okay? I'll see you. I'll be outside in a little bit.
Unfazed by anything you said to him. Just having the time of his life.
That's fine, as long as it's outside.
Yeah.
So close the door.
But you come back, just as Agustin is saying, this chunk of turkey was oven roasted. This chunk was braised in a standing fire, and then this was held out and allowed to turn in its own juices.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
You ate a lot.
So it's sour.
No, far from it.
He has started to get used to the sauerbraten. When I pick the meat, and I put it in the pickling spices. Yeah.
Not for me.
No, I know not for you. You like more lively food. You like a melody dancing on your tongue.
Oh yes, very much.
Of course.
It's well put.
You're welcome. No, these are one is oven, as he said, oven roasted. That was done on a spit. That was done in a smoker.
Oh no, I know. Cooked. And this is not sour. Yes, I got you.
Yeah.
That works.
This one, and he points to the one that was allowed to marinate its own juices. We have stuffed with wild oranges and pineapples. It fights the natural sourness of the game. But
Can't
I
say
assure
I've
you,
had that before.
the moment you put it in your mouth, you will understand just how good it is.
How good is it with tomatoes?
I have never tried.
I've heard bad things with bread, tomatoes, and pineapple. Don't do that.
Oh no, there are no
Well-
pineapples here.
Yeah, no. I mean, the oranges here, yeah. And she'll go over and get some of the tomatoes that she puts in like a cupboard that's like protected because it's only good for like a week and then they go bad.
Yeah.
And she'll slice the tomato and offer him a slice.
He eats it.
Is it okay?
The tomato is good, yes. I will eat a tomato, but I've never tried tomato with turkey.
Well, there you go. Experiment. Let the taste dance on your tongue.
Now we will see then. And he starts to cut a couple of slices of one of the breads, and he rubs a healthy portion of mustard on one loaf, grabs a couple of slices, slices a couple of slices of cheese off of a block that looks like cheddar. Takes a couple of kind of swipes at the orange turkey, orange pineapple turkey, puts on a slice of tomato, and then closes it and takes a bite. And he
watches.
he does a little twirl. This excellent addition to the turkey.
She goes and gets plates to make sure everyone has plates, and she'll sit down and start making her own sandwich. Well, see, now you have to know people who have tomatoes and grow them.
I will have to add this to my list for groceries, yes?
Yeah. They should have some in the market, I hope. It's usually found by the peas and the broccoli and the spinach.
None
It's the
of the
only
things
red
that I
thing
like.
there. Well, then it's going to show very quickly amongst all the green. She'll make her own food and slowly start to eat. She'll be like,
Yeah.
I haven't had these cheeses in a while.
Oh,
So, are you going to go back and forth and entertain us with some more Jesus at times?
if I can, of course. If
I'm sure your little miss is going down there.
It is a difference to get used to the gray skies of Eisen, but not everyone can partake of the sun.
This is true. I may or may not have gotten almost a sunburn while I was there. The sun does not like me.
It kisses without asking if one wishes to be kissed.
This is true. I'm not used to sun. Clearly.
All these flowery words as he's hearing this, I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah.
And I go and I cut turkey, the meats, but I cut them in like abnormally obnoxious chunks like that. I'm not making a sandwich. I'm just getting blocks of the different meat, and I'm just breaking along with that, and then eating a piece of bread with it, just so that it feels, because it'll eventually become a sandwich.
Correct.
In my stomach.
But he sits down as he finishes his sandwich, opens up one of the bottles of wine, pours himself a drink. I have come to see, whether you enjoyed the turkey that we have prepared for you, and two, my mistress is insistent at this point that you both come and partake of her generosity.
You know that as long as I have an invitation and she expects us, we will show up.
Excellent.
It would be rude.
Tomorrow then.
Sure. What time?
Excellent. In the evening would be best. It'll give us a chance to prepare the estate for your arrival.
The evening is a very precocious time to travel, yeah?
We can send the carriage.
I would appreciate it.
Excellent. I will tell the driver to be on his best behavior and to steal his nerves.
In the night, yeah. That would be the best, but yeah. We'll be ready, and I will make sure we are looking our best.
Excellent.
We can't bring Bolto. Okay. Can't bring Bolto.
No one.
He's going to gut the house while we're gone.
Yeah. But
he's going to have to.
He downs the cup of wine that he poured himself. And pours himself a second one, downs that one. Excellent.
Well, is there any news from Castillean you wish to share? Or any news about how your mistress is doing?
I would have preferred to enjoy the company of Angel, pero I see that he has not returned from his sojourn. So
No, he has not. Arnold has been, shall we say, evade for quite some time.
So the news I bring will not interest either of you.
Oh, come. I ask not out of just being polite. I ask out of curiosity, so that you may share what you wish of your homeland.
Well,
You're being so kind for food. I wish to return the kindness, wishing to know how your homeland is doing and how you are.
oh, it is good. As a whole, the country is doing as best as it can after the Montanian incursion, but there has been trouble that has befallen San Agustin, and
What has happened?
there is a new organization of thieves and brigands that are trying to make it their home. So
Oh, that perks my interest. Yes.
that is why I
What
was
is their
called
name?
home.
Hmm.
I had to deal with this new threat to the land that I was named after.
Well, I am so sorry to hear that is going on. I will, of course, say some prayers for your city and your home. If there's anything that we can do,
You
I
are
will do what I can.
you are most kind, but please, until tomorrow. And he slaps his thigh and walks out.
Flaps
May
his
will,
thigh.
May will see him out into his carriage, of course,
Yep.
as custom dictates.
And I will be chugging the other bottle of wine as I'm watching this.
Yeah.
This swill.
She'll
It's
come and
great.
close the door and just grab the other bottle of wine and drink.
It's Castillean wine.
Yeah, it's grape juice. This is what I'm having.
Yes, that's what you're having is grape juice.
Yeah, fermented grape juice.
Yeah.
No, I've had wine before. This is just bad. This is how I feel. This is just a personal.
It's boxed wine.
Yeah, this is what is this? What is
He-
this?
Yep.
It's free wine. He gave it to us. He left all this meat. Please don't eat it all in one. I'd like to have something to eat.
It's a good thing you said that. It's a good thing you said that like before, because I was already eyeing that block of meat, but I was about to walk back in.
I've already lost about 20 pounds. I need to eat something before you go off on it. No offense. But I'm glad that you at least like my cooking. It's just, I can't eat as fast as you can.
Well, I mean, first off, there's nothing wrong with your cooking. I have yet to lose. Unlike you, I have yet to lose any weight.
The back door shakes as you hear a thump, and you just see the head of the wolf dog just kind of like looking in.
Oh, great! We got to feed him.
How's this? I'll carve. You feed him, and I put everything on the counter so he can't get it.
Oh, that's never stopped him. But yes, I will try to delay.
I will stop him if I need to. You know this.
Oh, yeah. I grab, like I break off a piece of the meat.
Yeah.
And I'm just breaking it into smaller pieces in my hand as I'm going up. And I hold it out. Yeah. I go, hey, back up from the door.
He slides down and backs up.
Yeah, back up. I open the door. Stay. Yeah. Stay. Look at me. I am the captain now. And I go and I just place it into his bowl. I go for it.
He rushes over.
You can bring him in for the night if you like. She's starting to store everything that they've gotten and carve up meat for Freki to have later because he likes late night snacks.
How's the weather been right now? Is it cold? Is it cool? Balmy? Is it like?
No, it's summer. It's the height of summer right now, so it's balmy and muggy. There hasn't been a lot of sun because Eisen is the equivalent of Ravenloft.
Mm-hmm.
Sun, we don't know her.
So,
but is there a difference? Is there a difference in Like from inside and outside? Like as far as inside the house and outside the house, is there any kind of
During the
difference in atmosphere?
day, yes. At night, there is no difference.
Oh, then we're staying outside. Don't worry, we'll be fine. We have our
You do
I-
remember why we had to get you the new shield, yeah?
yes. No, I understand. Don't worry. I still have the door that leads to my room that I fashioned out of the window. It's no longer a window. We talked about this.
Okay, please, just whatever you do, don't do anything goofy.
Yes. Don't do anything that Freki would do. Yes, you've told me this before.
Has it worked?
Words to live by.
I mean, It's been about a month now.
Okay.
I'm still here.
Okay, just look, I
You know
want
what?
you to make sure you're okay.
I'll stay in tonight. Don't. Let's just make this easier. Just Balto, and I look over. I'm like, I know you're gonna have to stay inside tonight.
Just shakes all the dirt off of him.
No.
I will make sure I leave snacks out for both you.
Come on. I grab his bowl and I bring it on the inside so that
Yep.
he knows that he's not staying outside.
Yep, he follows it.
Nope. All right. But it's I gotta ask. It's strange
Yeah.
that he just wants us to meet him out of so soon. Like he said he does
Came
he
back
owe-
yesterday.
Yeah. Came back yesterday. Does he do this often where he just invites you to his home every time he's here?
It's not his home, it's his mistress.
Oh.
You're talking to in Ignacio Guadalupe de la Ma.
Bless you.
Hold on. Ignacio Guadalupe de la Ma de la Blea, Dresden. And her husband was Lord Wilhelm Destin von Vanthrop, who's part of mine husband's family, apparently. I didn't know he was a Vanthrop.
But that then just I'm just curious. We've been here now for quite a bit of time. And now is when they want to reach out?
Well, you think about it. She went down there for a month. At the same time, a month ago, we found out my husband's last name was really Vanthrop. Word around this place does get around. And being that she just came back, she probably found out what most of the town has found out last month is I'm a Vanthrop, apparently.
Okay.
I'm just assuming.
Look, last time somebody was friendly to me, I almost died. So let's
I'd like to say I've kept you alive longer than that. I'm friendly to you, yeah?
I mean, you know what I mean. I'm not talking about the world. I'm not talking about here.
Oh, there's a difference between here and the world.
No, definitely.
Okay, good to know that I've made my place non-world-like.
I mean, I don't take it the wrong way. What I mean
I'm
is
not.
there's the world and then there's home. And yeah, that's really
So you think this is home, yeah?
I mean, I've been here for over a month. I'm going to call this my home. So
Yeah,
yes.
you've been here for a little bit longer than a month. I think about 2-3 months now.
I mean, I know Eisen. I'm practically now a second son at this point here in Eisen.
I mean, they at least speak the language.
Yeah, I know, pretty good, right? And I just start speaking. I start going through ABCs in Eisen.
The double S is different, remember?
Yeah,
It looks like a big B.
like a big old B. Yes,
It
big
sounds like
old
an-
B. I just start grabbing a piece of the turkey. And I put the piece of turkey in my mouth, and I'm like, "Here, come here, Bolto." Just jump.
Do you guys want to? I think I made the ballroom into a playroom for you and Balto. If you want to go in there, I think I left a ball or a couple of those thick ropes that you can play. What
I
is it?
ima- I imagine that Balto's ears perked when he heard the word ball.
Yep.
You might want to go show him what I did with the ballroom.
Like he immediately comes over and just like starts smelling May's hands, thinking that you have a ball.
You better go take him into the ballroom. I'll be there in a minute with some sewing.
It's a very fancy ballroom.
It's nothing big. I mean,
Well, I mean,
we were a
well,
minor house.
no, I mean like this is actually like a bedroom, but it became a ballroom, like an actual quote unquote ball just for the ball.
Not wrong.
Yep.
It's fine. She'll put everything away, leave stuff out for Balto and Freki, and actually grab one of the books that she was reading to try and figure out more of the history of this house and the family and what she's missing, because apparently she doesn't know what the fuck her family is.
There's not a lot, but everything that you've read has kind of pointed in the direction of not forced marriages, but definitely
Arranged.
arranged betrothals to keep a certain lineage going.
Would she have known a pattern between families, or is this just rando?
There's moments where a pattern looks like it's emerging, and then there's a whole new name that pops up and changes everything.
Is there anything that has any more information about her husband in it?
No. Everything that leads to the husband looks like it's been forcibly redacted. Like pages are missing, pages are ripped in half where it looks like it's going to start talking about if not your husband, definitely like his family, like his direct parents. A lot of pain has been taken to end the lineage with him.
That's not good.
Yeah. It's not haunting, but it definitely isn't a fun discovery to make.
Yeah. Too bad I can't get a tongue from somebody. She'll just come in, kind of just sit down and make a couple more notes and things like that and watch you guys play and just kind of get a little bit frustrated. She doesn't throw the book, but she kind of just slides it up it to the table.
I see that book. You disagree with this book?
It's not that I disagree with the book. I disagree with what people have removed from the book. Everything about my husband and family is gone. Well, his family.
Well, what's the last thing that's written there that actually has his name on it?
There's nothing with his name on it. Every time it's about to go to him, is gone. Yeah. And she'll start showing you where the ripped pages are, where pages are halved and ripped, or you know. This makes no sense.
Well, I grab it. I'm wanting to look off the pages that are ripped, at least the ones that are half ripped, are there names of other people that is there a same name or names that come up the same on those pages where, let's say for instance,
the one name that continues to be like a through line, it's always attached to a different name, is the Vanthrop name.
okay, but no particular person, like for instance, what I'm trying to get at is, every time this person shows up on this report or this journal or this writing, there it also signifies that page was also part of that page was also ripped out.
No, it's always, like I said, when it's about to talk about May's husband directly or his parents.
Okay.
So you can get validation from the grandparents' names that May knows, but the only name that continues to kind of pop up is the Vanthrop name. It's the one name that has continued to be propagated.
Okay. I'm guessing then the only answers, I mean, I guess this is man, I've been learning some big words while I've been reading here this past month. Serendipitous is a word that I have found that,
Bertold's favorite.
yeah, that we're going to be going to a Vantrop's household tomorrow.
Yeah. And I don't know the relation to my husband.
But do you think that they would, is the question.
Oh, probably. God, I hope so. I mean, marriages here are different depending on the status of the family. Either the daughter goes to the husband's house, the husband goes to the daughter to the wife's house. He came to my house, so from my understanding, we were higher than his family and things. Which now finding he has a completely different name than what I knew, and reading this entire book is telling me I know what's the colloquialism? I know jack und shit.
Yeah, you're never gonna get anything out of Jack.
You're not wrong, and shit doesn't move.
You know, well, I'm sorry, but what was his Vanthrop? Well, I'm trying to remember what was his last name before?
So he took my last name, Dietrich, because my father was a colonel in the soldiers. He was high. He was a high rank in the army. And my husband followed right in suit. He was a rank lower than my father. So to have an attack on my house, like it was almost unheard of because you wouldn't do that.
Gotcha.
And that's what makes it even stranger. And now I find out that he's a part of an order that I didn't know he was a part of. Finding a book and gun and this whole thing is on him. This is completely different than what I know or what I have known.
No. Sounds like you know about as much about him right now as I do, which is very scary.
Yeah, being that we'd been married for some time. If we had several children. I mean, they're all in the backyard if you ever want to talk to them, but still, you know. They're not going anywhere.
I imagine you've gone through your whole bedroom to make sure there's nothing else, no stone left unturned, so to speak.
I've gone through the entire house. From top to bottom.
Have we ever looked at the back of the house?
Well, being it's almost night, I wouldn't actually do that at the moment.
Not now. I'm not talking about
But-
now.
You know.
What do you mean
I mean,
by the
from
back
the-
of the house?
Like, I mean, we've checked the whole house.
Yeah.
But the lot, the actual property, extends out to from the back to a certain extent. Obviously, I'm not talking about where, you know what I mean, like where.
Where the property line is.
Yeah.
As far as the city's concerned, the property line ends at the forest.
So that's quite a bit of land. That's quite a bit of area.
Yeah, Balto has free reign of like this massive, almost acre to himself, and that's not counting like the small orchard that they have.
Which, how is the orchard doing now? Now that we've cleared it out for
Much better. You should have juicy apples by the end of summer.
Okay. Well, I would say that cautious optimism is what I think that we should be having tomorrow, considering that we'll at least get something, because it's better than what we know now, which pretty much less than nothing. And I mean, I will take blame for the fact that I haven't really been looking. More so just trying to be a part of this place so that people would be more open with me. Is usually honey works better than salt on some,
You
honey
mean
works
vinegar?
better on a then okay, everybody has something different, all right? Don't mess with me. But
I would never mess with you. What you're looking for is honey is better to collect than vinegar.
yes, so sweet over sour, yes. I got you. But
you learned Eisen in 1 month. That is something that is commendable.
but learning the actual people here is still and this is a clash of personality, of considering from where I come from. We love to be open with one another, and here everybody feels to be the opposite.
You will forget that my aunt is Vesten. I spent almost a year there in convalescence. So I do understand the difference, and I'm trying my best to try to make it easier for you. I mean, you've been doing so well in acclimating. It's very impressive.
Well, I appreciate it. I do that, but then I see that I'm literally taking off layer of dirt. That's on my.
Yep.
It's fine. It's fine.
I think it's time for my bi-weekly bath. I think this is it now.
Well, you do, yes. The bi-weekly battle happened. I did make you some garments for a nice, inappropriate garments for tea, okay? So it'll be nice leather jogging. I made sure your pants will fit. And I got you some boots. So you don't have to worry about wash and dry. It's already prepared.
Balto goes and hides in the closet the second he hears us talk about bathing.
Balto, I'm not talking about
fine.
you. Not talking about you.
So no, I made sure you have the appropriate. I know you have very limited clothes, so I took some pains to get some for you and make some.
You didn't have to do that. I
don't have to do anything.
To be quite honest, I'm probably just gonna wear the same thing I'm wearing now after my bath, which is kind of what's the word? Counterintuitive is the word I found, but
it is counterintuitive. However, it would be lovely if you would dress a little bit more, just a touch Eisen. I did invest in embellishments a little bit. It's taken me some time.
You do know that the seamstress in town is married to the butcher from your time getting to know people.
Oh, cool. She's so nice.
Yes.
She's so nice.
You
I
didn't
gotta.
understand why I was running around with tape around you, yeah? Ah, that's good.
She could have just asked me. Just, but
She
okay,
was
fine.
intimidated than how tall you were.
Well,
You have a
I
statue to.
yeah, I appreciate it. This is yeah. I mean, it's been a while since I've been grounded, so to speak. So it is. It's just still some getting used to the fact that you know that I see people over an extended period of time than being more fleeting since I don't stay in places very often, except my own home in Vesten. But yeah, I've grown to like this place like a
I
fungus, but still
understand.
it's been growing.
It's nice to know my house is a fungus.
I'm
Good.
talking about ice. I'm talking about the actual town.
Ah. Well,
You know,
think of it this way. This is my acre. So when I would go out for different jobs and different things I would do, I would come back here. I used to have a whole staff full of people, people to take care of the cows and the cattle, so I didn't have to worry about stuff. I had a housemaid. I had ladies' maids. I would always make sure my hair was good before I would leave. So to come back to see it completely abandoned,
mm,
I can only imagine what drove people off.
Here is some howling in the distance.
Besides that,
but is it in the house or outside?
No, outside. Like from
Do
the
I reckon-
forest.
Like from the forest?
Yep.
besides them.
Excuse me a moment. I go and I step outside.
Oh mijn god, is het niet wat je met hem vooruit de domme werkt?
I step outside. I don't leave the porch from the
Okay.
backyard. I just step out. What I've now routinely have done in this past month and a half that has passed,
Mhm.
I tend to do this more later in the night when everybody's asleep. Is that I'll actually go out and I'll sit outside for an extended period of time,
Okay.
staring off into the forest, hoping that something would come back out. But the howling is something that happens normally, right?
Mhm.
Throughout. Okay. Yeah.
It's
I go
not
and
an
I sit
everyday
out.
occurrence, but it definitely is like the soundtrack to the evening.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon.
Yeah. Before I take my bath, I'm just gonna hang out outside for a little bit, get some night air.
Mm.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna go in the forest.
I know you won't. Look, after I survive what I survive, I just worry out when the sun goes down. I need to know I'm in a place that is safe and secure. Okay?
Mm.
By extension, I make sure you're okay, so that I don't have to worry about having to go outside in a place that I'm not safe and secure in.
I'll leave. I'll leave the door open. You could see
No,
me.
no, no, no.
No?
Just leave a lamp. The doors. Think of it this way: as you open the door, you create a portal.
Appalachian rules, bro.
Yup.
Yeah, but this is a different game. Different
Still
game.
Appalachian rules, my guy.
Yeah.
Different game.
Appalachian Mountains, bro. Close the door, close the blinds. No whistling.
And she'll go, why don't you just you take a lamp to make sure that your place is illuminated? Just be safe. I'll close the blinds, close the drapes and the windows and everything. And I'll just stay in the... you know what? I'm going to read in the library with a nice fire. to get
like-
somebody to chill out.
Walter goes with you.
With
With May.
May?
Yeah.
Okay. I figured.
Fire dog there.
Yeah, I'll sit out. And I'll actually grab a whetstone that I have outside. Now that I have the shield, now I'm actually going to it's since he created that tapered edge
Mhm.
now, it's not fully sharp, but
Yeah.
the idea now is to actually gradually over time,
Okay.
at least a section of it.
Sure. You'll be out there, and after about an hour, you'll hear some rustling right around the forest edge. But then it, whatever it was, doesn't continue.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till it's actually quiet, like the howling has stopped, all that.
Yeah.
Stand up.
It gets to the
Yep.
point where every single noise is gone.
Oh, that's not good either.
Like there's no bugs, there's no howling, but you don't hear the wind, you don't feel the wind, and as you stand up, there's a sudden caw, and you see this raven just sitting on the roof looking down at you.
Yeah, it's not ominous at all. And where's the raven at? I'm sorry.
Just on the roof.
Oh, so I can't see it. I can hear it though.
No, you can see it. You can see it, and as the moonlight breaks through in little slivers through the heavy overcast. But the second it caws, it almost like wakes everything up. You start to hear the sounds of crickets, the chirping of the bugs.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the wind kind of rustling through the orchard now.
Given the fact that I've been reading through this past month and a half or so, regarding the stories, tales that people talk about, Bertold has told me some. Does this ring a bell of any kind of mythos?
The crow has always had a mythology. The raven has always had a mythology of being a harbinger, not the reason for destruction, but definitely an omen of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah, that's all I needed. Thanks. I'm gonna go ahead and walk my happy ass. Leave the lantern out, but walk my happy ass in and close the door.
It flies down, like you hear flapping, and it lands on the lantern, and it caws again at you.
May. That's just here. I'm inside. I'm in the actual frame of the door frame.
Yep.
Bus. She'll make her way to the door.
I think you need to see this.
What do I need to see?
The door the back door, it still has a window on the actual door that you can see outside.
Up to me.
Or no?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Works with me.
Yeah, because I'm closing
Don't
the door.
pull the curtain.
Yeah, because I'm closing the door.
Okay.
Oh, bam! It just look out there.
What am I looking for?
A harbinger of an omen, so to speak.
She will slowly open the door and like make it to the point where she can see outside, but they can't see her.
You see big raven on top of a lantern, just kind of like hunched over, pecking at the latch to open it.
Give me the broad that is over there.
Here you go.
She makes like as quickly as she can, ties, rips little pieces of the bread, And she'll open up the door just a little bit more and she'll throw it out so that it lands on the porch and the stairs that doesn't get dirty. And she will kind of slowly offer the raven the little bit stem left of the bread that she's got in her hand, but more of like, that's the bread before her hand.
Yeah.
And just offers it to them and shows the bread on the thing. So he will leave the lantern alone.
It looks up the second it hears the door open, and the head tilts. It looks at the bread you've thrown for it, and it caws. It unfurls its wings, and with a mighty flap, it takes off with the lantern.
Great. She watches just to see that it does not drop the lantern on her house.
No, it's going into the forest.
Oh yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I say that out loud. Yeah, that's not good. I've never read this in a story, but this is
And
no.
you'll see the little orange and yellow glow through the trees, bouncing off the trees just as it's flying into the actual forest itself. Not above it, like into it.
Is the noise from like the actual nighttime noises, the crickets, the wind, is that noise still happening?
That's happening, yeah. You're fine.
No, I say that because go to May. Well, yeah, I reason why I called you is because all of the sound from outside escaped. It's like it's almost though it was spilled out from the night until this raven showed up.
Like it was silent?
Something I've never felt before. To be honest, it felt like I could only hear my heartbeat. That's how quiet it was out here. Which is actually out of character. That's pretty frightening. When you're in a room that's built that way, that you can't hear anything but your heartbeat, you start freaking out. That's how I feel right now.
What would May know about this? Would she know anything about this from her training, from her reading?
Oh, I mean, ravens are so much.
From the silence, and then all of a sudden the raven comes and says something.
There's stories that talk about like a raven showing up before disaster, and ravens being eyes for wizards and different kinds of homunculi or familiars.
Or grandmothers.
Ravens have been attached more to a male persona than a female persona.
The Morgan would disagree, but we'll go with this. I'm a little curious as to that. That would pique my interest. Why? Okay. All right. She will definitely be like, all right, well, this is... Either they were watching us, or she was warning us of something. Right now it's 3 of 5, 6 of a dozen.
Just gonna let you know, May, I'm fighting every urge to walk into the forest at this moment.
I agree with you. I hear you on this, and I appreciate it. I'm not exactly wanting to go charging after you and bringing back your lifeless corpse.
I mean, to be honest, besides recent events, before those recent events, I would have already been gone. So, I have learned patience. Somewhat.
She closes. Go on. Go on.
No, I was like as much patience as Freki could have. So,
as she closes the door, she makes sure all the drapes are closed, and then she goes, "Do you have your sword with you?"
Sword?
Oh, your axe.
Axe? You mean the one I use outside for the tree? I get the shield. I'm like, I have this. This is both sword and.
She will just take it carefully, and she will raise it above her head. So full on extended with her arms to the point where it's, 14, 15 feet where she looks like she's a full-on. Think of the biggest beast you can think of, this about this tall. A wolf head, standing on his hind legs, long, sharp claws. Growling, snaring, drool coming from his teeth, blood is coming from his teeth because he has now gnashed and ripped and torn people in two.
If you're trying to get me excited, May, you're doing a great job at this.
I'm not trying to get you excited. I'm trying to say this is what you would be fighting, and this is about 20 bears in one. Okay? Now, there is more than at least a half a dozen to a dozen in a forest, which means you are now outnumbered about 120 to 1. Your odds are not good. I say this practically.
Okay.
You would need at least 50, 60 people, 50 or 60 men of your size and caliber to go take out that forest.
I mean, but wolves are pack animals, right? So
These are not just wolves. These are monsters. These are things that you could not understand. You remember when you met me and I had the gray hair?
yes.
I use magic to put the monsters down. I become a monster to stop monsters from destroying innocent people. I have not done magic in a while, and the dye is kept very, very nicely in the hair. So people do not know what I do. I was on a path of vengeance. To destroy the things that have destroyed what I have loved and cherished. Destroyed my home, destroyed my family. That is why I go and fight the monsters. Because my life is nothing more than just what it is. A shell of what I was. But I know and I understand this. I do not fight for honor nor glory. It's for the vengeance of those that have died innocently. My children did not deserve this.
I agree with you on that, and I do not judge, nor would I ever judge reasons for why people have to, as far as the extent of what they need to do in order to save the people that their family, their loved ones. I can never judge
I
that.
saved the innocence of the world, not my family. They're dead. They're in the grave. They're not going anywhere. But I saved people like you.
Mm.
I know you would love to go in there and fight. It's your calling. But at the same time, I'm saving you for a better fight. Something that will mean something to you and that you will walk away from.
Let's make a deal then.
Okay.
Okay? Let's make a deal then. I will show patience with regards to waiting, picking battles, as you say, and in turn, you will allow yourself to not be alone in this fight. This fight that you feel that you need to do to save myself, to save people you've never met, to save the town, to save the world, essentially, is from what it sounds like. You've been investing and you already know that that is not the way. What's the vernacular? That's not the way we roll. Man, I'm learning a lot of big words since I've been reading. And
How does you is it how you decide to do things? Is right way you roll? I've never heard this line.
so it's never mind. It what I mean is
You mean are you trying to say prerogative?
no, yes. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Good. That's I got to write these down. Give me 1 second. I take out a sheet of paper. Do I write it in Eisen? No.
Yeah,
no.
write it in Eisen. It'll be easier for you to remember.
Oh my god, but it's so much longer in Eisen. 1 second. so there's so many dots above the words, above these
If you're
letters.
called
Jesus.
out in German.
Mhm.
It's called a Numat. I taught you how to write this.
Okay, I'm sidetracked. Stop this, Freki. So sidetracked. What I'm trying to say is that I will learn patience if you will learn that you are not the only one in this fight. Needless to say, you're stuck with me because I haven't gone anywhere. Normally, I would have left already on to something else, but this calls to me. The way we've met, what we have gone through so far in such a short amount of time, has taught that sometimes this stone just needs to stop rolling. Sometimes it needs to be gathered, and
Cultivated.
so yeah. As long as you know that you're no longer fending you against the world, it's now us against this world.
Okay. I will take this deal.
All right, awesome. Where is the wine? Just
The one that you all drank.
oh, we got other wine in here. Give me 1 second. There's got to be something. You know,
I can make some mead for you if you like.
that's what I was going to do. Fermented apples from the orchard would work very well right now.
Of course it would. But that means we have to go outside to go pick it.
All right, tomorrow. Tomorrow we will do this.
Tomorrow we spend time in the orchard and then we go to the dinner with the Vanthrops.
And then hopefully we get some answers, or at least, if nothing else, maybe we get some excitement. Because, it's been a while since I've had to use these hands, besides tilling the field.
Yeah.
So,
we can do practice if you'd like to.
oh, no,
I am very good with swords and axes.
okay.
I soldier's daughter. Of course I know how to fight.
I nod my head to you. I'm gonna go and attempt this bath, and I will hopefully try to sleep in this and try not to.
I have linen out on your bed. It's more of an undershirt. You can get to sleep in that.
Yeah.
It will be comfortable.
Okay, I'll wear only the shirt. Got it. And I walk right on.
God, the shirt goes down to his knees.
Yeah.
It's gonna Winnie the Pooh this whole thing.
Do it. The next night, you will hear the horses galloping up. You'll see the same carriage, the same driver, but this time you'll notice he has this leather strap around his shoulders, and on the front of his vest, there's what looks to be a pistol. And there's a little kind of bandolier of little pockets that at his waist, which you imagine must be for like extra ammo or gunpowder, things like that. But he comes up and he immediately hops down and opens the door for both of you and offers his hand if you wanted to get inside.
She'll take it. She's actually wearing her wedding trousseau. Now, back then they did wear white, so it's more of like this dark blue color. And she's wearing her engagement ring with her wedding ring, and her husband's ring is on the other hand. So she is dressing up for this.
Okay.
In considering that this is fancier than what Freki normally is a part of, I dress whatever clothes May provided to me. Whether or not it's matched correctly, because I don't know, but I went ahead and put it on. I grab some of the oil some of the oils that we have, so that I can actually bring down the beard into a fine little knot, so that I can go ahead and just tie it, so that it's not freaking bristled out.
Yeah.
I do same thing, slick my hair all the way back, so it's like that weird. It's a very like pompadour meets Tennessee top hat.
Okay.
right? So I kind of like what I forget what the new God, I'm gonna sound old. What the new generation wears now? It's like a mullet, but it's not a mullet. It's kind of like they have yeah.
You could have just man bunned it, bro.
I know, but that's not what that's. I usually man bun, but this is fancy, so I need to.
Okay.
So I need
Got
to.
it.
I need to
Got
do.
it. But yeah, you hop in. It is a little cramped for Freki. It definitely looks like this was comfortable for people's May size. But you hear him kind of wriggle his way back up, and then you hear the small kind of whip crack, and the horses start to gallop.
Slowly because of the amount of weight.
No, they don't. It doesn't feel like there's any strain on them.
Oh, okay.
And you are taken through the town. You can see all the businesses are closed. Some of the lights for homes above businesses are on. And some people will take a peek, kind of like what May did, was just like just enough to see the eye, just to get a glimpse of what's going on. But otherwise, like, nobody's just like full on out their window or outside. And you get to the opposite end of town, and there is this manor overlooking the river. And the moment you come up, the large wrought iron gates are opened. There's these little kind of hunched over gatekeepers that immediately open the gate when the driver comes up, and then close it immediately after. And then you see them scurry off into this small kind of office space that might be their home. And as the driver takes you up this beautiful vista of a paved kind of roadway up to the manor house itself, you see that there are lanterns. There is just every nook and cranny has some kind of light. The whole area is bathed in orange and yellows. Shadows are dancing back and forth, and standing at the front door, just at the top of the small set of stairs, is Ignacio. And he has his arms out wide, big old smile, masterful, beautifully tailored suit, a not wickedly curved, but a curved kind of cutlass on his belt, and also a gun on the opposite hip. But he hopscotches down the steps, eager to open the door for you and to help you out. And he tells the driver to turn the carriage around while they go inside.
Real quick, before we walk in, throughout the whole time that every now and again, I want to peek out as the carriage was taking us. I just want to be able to see, if I happen to see, birds, particularly a raven, following this carriage.
Not at all.
And I wouldn't see anything before walking in through the door. I wouldn't see anything perched out anywhere in the area.
No, it is so well lit that you don't even see the stars through the cloud break. Like, there is a lot of light pollution coming from this place.
I whispered to May, I'm like, is this something we need to do?
But I was trying to do. I have to now get more lamps.
Yeah, we're going to need more lamps.
Ignacio brings you into what looks to be a sitting room. There's a fireplace with a gentle fire and above it, you will see what looks to be a family portrait. Sitting in a high-backed chair is this majestic, handsome man in what looks to be a tailored outfit. Slicked black hair, a small, well-kept beard, and like family on either side of him, there is a woman who has her hand on his shoulder, and then there is a gentleman who has his hand on the top of the back of the chair. The gentleman looks exactly like May's husband. And this is a good spot to call it for tonight.
Son of a bitch. Yeah.
Asshole!
Fuckers, bro. Fuckers. Fuckers. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you guys for coming back to 7C. Hope you're having fun.
You know, now we are. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The plot thickens.
Like soup.
Yeah, but thank you to you guys. Thank you to the audience. We are slowly coming back, trying to get back into the swing of things. As always, please take care of yourselves, and please know that we take mental health on the channel very seriously. If you're watching live, there's phone numbers going up in our Twitch chat. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube later. If you're not in the United States or you don't do well with phones, there's a link going up for findthehelpline.com, so you can find the resources in your area, or resources that will acclimate to your needs, adjust to your needs as necessary. As always, we are trying to get back into the schedule of Mondays being for Vampire the Masquerade, Tuesday being for Werewolf of the Wild West or Legend of the Five Rings, and Thursday being for 7C, like you saw tonight, or Old Gods of Appalachia. Otherwise, you can catch me over on McStabber Studios for their Changeling second season that just kicked off. And occasionally, you'll catch me on a Friday if I'm invited to be the table's bad guy for their Kansas City game. Because, you know, I am allowed to be the bad guy. And that's always a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited to finally start getting into some of the background of who the husband is and what he might have been embroiled in. So it's going to be a lot of fun moving forward. And finally get to introduce the Vanthrops, which has been sitting in the wings for forever.
Yes.
So that'll be a lot of fun as well. But as always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We'll see you when we see you. Have a good night, guys. Bye.